I think that the red pill is, at least their solution to the problem, is sort of a man's version of resonance.
The red pill, I think,
Yeah.
is intentionally vague with their solutions because they want you to come back to their content.
Whatever. I'll just go along with it. I'll get in line, between the other 30 dudes and take my turn and then head out.
And that's getting after it in a different, wrong way. That's getting before it.
Yeah. Women resonating is not an issue in and of itself. It can be good and it can be bad. It can. I'll start by saying what's good about it. Why would it be good that women are not really rational when they talk to each other? Well, because women are intuitive. Women genuinely do like find truths just by accident. Like they just intuit certain things. Like it just comes to them. Like they just like hits them like some force. Like they'll identify as soon as they see some guy, they'll identify him as a threat in like 3 seconds, and like there's nothing to base it on. And as a man, you'd be like, "What's wrong with him? He's just Pete." And it turns out Pete is like a sex predator. Or
Serial
something.
killer.
It's like she just knew. Yeah, or she just knew, and it's like how did you do? Okay, well, women have that ability. Now it's not right all the time, but sometimes enough of the time it is that we sort of need women to like resonate these truths to one another. And if think of like a small group of hunter gatherers, nomads, or whatever, and a woman's like, something about this area we're in, it gives me the creeps. I don't like it. And all the men are like, what do you mean? There's water, there's food, but all the women are just not satisfied with it, right? And then you come to find out that this is like an area where a bunch of wolves are always something like that. And so the women would have clued into something like that before the men could. And so the men would have benefited by listening to that intuition. Well, here's the thing. They wouldn't have had a choice. If every woman in the tribe is like raising hell, then the men are just going to be like, fine, all right, whatever, we'll go somewhere else, right? But so that's sort of like the good thing, like how it could be beneficial. Now it's negative because they're not always right. In fact, they're often wrong, right? So as men, we have to be willing and able to stand up to it and to stop it. And yeah, I think that's more or less what I wanted to say about
I think that
resonating.
was good we did that live because I did kind of
Yeah.
I did spur out a little bit, but no, and I think you're right about the double layer to it, and I apologize
Yeah.
in not in advance, but in hindsight of my reaction. But here's the thing: you get frustrated about antinatalism as somebody who is such a pro-natalist. I know
Yeah.
I'm emotionally invested in the fact that like pro-natalism is the best kind of way to move forward, but I do believe that using that kind of top-down emotional perspective to kind of say, hey, I'm admitting with some self-awareness that this is emotional, but I will tell you that there is logic to base some of this, right? So I don't know. It makes us different than leftists, but also makes us different than the MGTOWs, and we'll get into that right now. I think
Yeah.
the red pill kind of solution. What is the red pill getting wrong about the solution to the description? And that's the theme of what makes us different than the red pill. Is that our solutions? I actually believe our solutions are better and more concise and more clear, right? Whereas the red pill, I think,
Yeah.
is intentionally vague with their solutions because they want you to come back to their content. And so, we're making a YouTube channel, we're making a YouTube video and stuff, and you may think, hey, you know, if I just implement your solution, I'm never going to watch your channel again. That's good. Honestly, if you can, it's actually a message to us if you don't ever watch the video again, the channel again, because that means you're
Yep.
set up to be in a self-sustaining life, and you've got the goals, you've got the tools to keep going forward and maneuvering it, right? But we're just going to give you the solution. I think this helps. This is going to help a lot of people. So the red pill solution to this, and I'm going to go ahead and just intro it, and you can tell me what you think about it. Is like I said earlier, MGTOW, withdraw consent from society. That's part of it. But another part that they always say, and they always say, hey, feedback into this negative feedback loop. We don't use that term, but that's my term. But they say just engage in as much degeneracy as possible. Just take advantage of as many women as possible. As a man, I need you to go on a dating app and just upsell your image. Just tell the woman you're 6'2", tell her you make six figs, tell her whatever you need to tell her to make that her somebody that you can pump and dump, just like an Elon Musk kind of Dogecoin situation, right? And they're encouraging that behavior, and other men are going to say, hey, I'm going to do that, and then as you said last week, it's easy, so they do it, and they do it once, and it's exhilarating, whatever, and then they post about it and they talk about it to their friends, and they can quote unquote brag about it and say, hey, I went ahead and slayed this many women last month. It was crazy. And I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
you and I, when you hear that, you're just like, dude, like, can you just like try to make something work? And if I had a nickel for every time somebody told me, oh, don't worry, bro, like she knows I don't like her, I would have like
Yeah.
45 cents
God.
because it doesn't happen to that much. But it's a ridiculous thing to
Yeah.
say, and I hate hearing that. I'm like, dude, why are you telling me that I need to not worry the fact that you told her that you don't like her? when you love her. Like, you
Yeah.
definitely like her a lot. Why is it so
Yeah.
of a problem for you to tell her that, you know? And the red pill dynamic
Yeah.
is, hey, never let a woman know how you feel. Be kind of that lone wolf Sigma male and do all this stuff. Now, there's some truth to that, and it's buried underneath a lot of that mess, and we'll get into that. But don't assume that everything they say is 100%, hey, apply and you're going to get immediate results. Because you might get immediate gratification, but it's not results, right? So talk to me about kind of the red pill solution, and talk to me about what you think is how we differ from that.
Yeah. I think you summarized it well, and the way I would characterize it, it's not a perfect analogy, but I think that the red pill is, at least their solution to the problem, is sort of a man's version of resonance, you know? Because even when I listen to red pill content or whatever conversations, or even if I just think about the problem from that perspective, it is satisfying. Like, it feels good to think of that way, like in an evil way, you know what I'm saying? And in like a degenerate way. It's like, yeah, women are like kind of ruining this society with their like resonance and their impossible demands. And why don't I just take what I can get from them? I know I can, right? I've done it before. Easy peasy. I'll just kind of make them look foolish by taking from them the one thing that they have to offer, right, which is their bodies. I can just get that and then leave them on the side of the curb, and it's like I've won. Like I've scored a victory over this stupid system that's been set up against me. And so it's like satisfying, and like I said, in a degenerate way. So as men, when they come together and they hear like, yeah, okay, the society is screwed up. Like, you may want wife and a children, but that's not going to happen. But what you can do is you can sort of take the people who are responsible for it and just kind of knock them down a peg, right? That sounds good, doesn't it? It's like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. If there's nothing else, I guess I'll take that. So I think that's a version of like men resonating, which is inherently feminine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of how I'm going to attack like the red pill solution here.
Right.
We've talked about it before, but the red pill is giving in, right? And MGTOW is something else, and that is definitely withdrawing consent completely. But it is a form of defeatism, But it's not maybe not as bad as like the red pill, because really what the red pill is doing is saying, all right, women, you want it, let's do it your way. They're Adam in the garden. They're saying, sure, let's just do it then. I mean, if I know it's not going to make you happy. I mean, I'm a man, so I can think through to the end of this situation here, and I guarantee you that the woman is not going to be happier for having hooked up with like 30 dudes. But whatever, I'll just go along with it. I'll get in line, between the other 30 dudes, and take my turn, and then head out. I guess I'll just do it because there's nothing else to do. So I'm just going to join in.
Right.
That's literally what the red pill solution is. I mean, honest to God, that's what it is.
No, that's what they say.
When you break it down like that, it sounds disgusting. Like, what? Like, ew. Like, what am I even doing? Like, but that's what they're advocating. That's literally what they'll tell you to do. Like, just don't bother getting married. Don't bother trying to find a wife. Just get in line behind Tyrone, Chad, Brad, Tyler, and Eric, and get behind all them. You'll have your turn, and then you can find another one. And there's a bunch of other dudes in line there too. But hey, that's we're having fun. We're doing good. Look at the texts. I'm sending these silly texts, and she's responding. It's so fun. I'm having a good time.
Yeah. No, and I think
you cry,
I think to sort of yes and you on right where to put a pin in what you're saying. I think part of that is is a male version of the liberal answer. Would you agree?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because what I said earlier is kind of like they're saying, hey, embrace the 1,000 guys on one day and post that on, with the OnlyFans and what have you. Yes, this, so much of this, TBH and all that stuff. But the male version of it is literally, it's almost they're playing their game, which is, hey, I just slayed 30 women last month. Yo. And then everyone's like, bro, this, so much this. Like, you show that. It's get after it. You know what I mean? And that's getting after it in a different, wrong way. That's getting before it.
Yeah.
So it's just two sides of the same coin, in my opinion. And I think the reason it works, I think, is because it's hook, line, and sinker, right? They're giving a description. They're giving it similar to what we gave, right? We agree on the description, so they probably just give kind of what we said. And so, men are sitting in their channel. They watch their Mr. Beast videos. They finish playing their Marvel game. They're chilling out, and they're like, what do I do here? What's this? What's this channel? Okay, let's click that. And the first couple of minutes of it is, are you tired of the fact that every time you load up a dating app, you get 0 matches for 2 months? Are you tired of the fact that every time you go on a date, the woman expects you to pay for an extravagant dinner and that she won't put out? Well, think no longer. Your solution is here. And you're like, hook, line, and sinker. I'm in. Let's see. Let's keep watching. I'm going to slow it down to 1.25x. And then you get it, and they go and say, hey, so all you need to do is go and do this, this, and this, and you're going to have da-da-da. But make sure to watch our channel next week because you're going to keep coming back here because secretly what I'm telling you is to make your dating life impossible for the whole rest of your life because I need you as a subscriber.
What is up, guys? Thank you for checking out this clip from the Maneuver Life Radio podcast. If this content is up your alley, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely drop a comment letting us know whether or not you agree or disagree with what was discussed in the clip. We do have full unedited discussions that we upload on Mondays. The link for this one will be in the description. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good rest of your day.